Okay. All right. Sorry, screwing around with some things. It is Thursday. We are back as per usual. Midwest F1 League, nearly at the halfway point of the season. This is round 7, if I have my notes correct. And wait, 2, 4, 6. No, 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. This is round 8, of course. So hopefully everyone is having a good Thursday, and as per usual, hopefully we can make it a little bit better. And as per usual, I am joined by El Majako. How are you doing today, El Majako?
Oh, I'm feeling pretty good, actually. How are you, Crash?
Not too freaking bad. My hair looks all weird, though. It looks gross. It looks oily and... okay, we'll deal with it. Is what it is.
I've got some serious headset hair right now as well.
Oh, yeah. You know, I was thinking, do you have a camera on your monitor? Or do you have a camera set up yet?
I mean, I have a crude one. But yeah, why?
We should maybe try and look into getting, see if we can try and get your camera up here.
All right, yeah, we can look into that potentially next week.
Yeah, that'd be
good.
fun. Okay, well, for now, it is just me and my ugly hat hair this evening, and maybe potential Sully. Don't. I'm actually not even kidding. Sully, don't. Okay, of course he does it anyway. It is just me and my cats, and as per usual, they'll be annoying as all hell. But we'll see how things go.
I heard Sully and I thought it was a Monsters Inc. moment.
No, my cat's names are Mike and Sully.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
All right, 19 people. So who are we missing? A Mercedes.
A Merc. In the Division 3. Oh, yes, we're in Division 3 this evening if you didn't catch the title. It is the wrong week, but Mercedes.
So Frenchie was there, so it's the one that's not Frenchie, which is KB.
Yes, KB. Okay, but all right, let's get through a little bit of our due diligence here. Let's show what's happening in the Division 3 Drivers' Championship. We've got Electric Blade leading the way. I believe Travis Scott was just promoted into Division 3. And Posh Josh sitting in second. Pork Chops sitting 5th right now, as per usual, sitting pretty high up in the championship. As it's his league, so he always just kind of gives himself some extra points just to make himself feel better. Always just misses out on promotion and then opts to stay down in Division 3, as a good owner does. Right, Jacko?
Yes, that's exactly what is happening. I'm nodding my head.
Yes. See, now if we had the camera, we could see you nod your head. But
I'll take my word for it for now.
Yeah, we'll get there. But there you go, Division 3 Constructors Championship. Ferrari, Williams, and Aston Martin. That's actually a really tight battle. We'll have to keep tabs on that as we continue on. I think we'll probably get back in Division 3 at least one more time before the end of the season. We'll see what happens there. But as everyone saw on the screen title there, also, we are in Saudi Arabia. It's got the fastest average lap or speed throughout the track now. I think it overtook Monza with the creation of this track. I think so.
That's actually not a fact I was aware of, but yeah, it does add up. They would be pretty close.
Yeah.
The chicane's obviously slowing down Monza.
It at least has the highest average speed at a street circuit. We can say that.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
This track does not screw around at all. It is dangerous. It is fast. It is exciting. We'll give it that as well. But here we go. So yeah, 19 drivers makes up our lobby here. Looks like Zarekska is the first one to come around, so we'll jump on board with him in a half a lap time. But we see Will Ans is in the lobby, filling in for an Alfa Romeo. I don't know if you caught that, but yeah, former Division 1 guy.
I caught a lot of things here that I think are a lot of call-ups. Slayer, I thought, was Division 4. Jose Miguel, I thought, he's a reserve too, is he not?
No, he's Division. He's Division 3. He's not having a good season.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow, I thought Jose Miguel would be a bit further up.
He's sitting 19th right now. I think he's had some DNFs.
Well, he is a talented driver.
Mm-hmm.
But according to the schedule and the results, Electric Blade must be quite the driver. He's got 1, 2, 3 wins so far, and 2 of them in the most recent 2 rounds, so possibly on for an electric here.
Yeah, it seems to be a driver on the up and up here. If you're into rookie card trading, then they would be definitely a good one to grab. But won't we jump on board with the Zareska, and you can bring us around here in Saudi Arabia there, Jacko?
All right, well, he has got the DRS open, braking for turn 1, the hardest braking point of the circuit. Slowest 2 turns, turns 1 and 2. Probably the best 2 turns of the circuit too. Opportunity to make it overtake as well into turn 1. And now for this very tricky series of sweepers that make up. Oh, he doesn't quite nail that. Tractors it quite well there. We will see spins at some point in this region of the track. I think that may have been off the track as a car facing the incorrect direction, and we're now invalid. Yeah, that's such a tricky portion of the track. You suffer for sure if you're a controller driver through there.
We can jump on board with Electric Blade there, Jacko. He's at the exact moment there.
Okay, yep, Electric Blade is purple in the first sector. Comes to this long sweeping left, which is a little bit banked. Quite a nice turn. Not really a fast opportunity though. Although there are a couple of different lines you can take through there. And next up, another chicane, and that's a bit of a wall tap, which will scupper his run all the way up this next straight, which there is DRS available for.
And another one.
I think that was another wall tap there. It can be quite difficult to gauge your distance to the wall at this track because of the lights sort of flicker as you go, past rows of floodlights. The traffic is out of the way there. We've got another DRS zone. Hug the left wall for the shortest run to the final turn, and then come out wide so you can get a good apex angle. Pretty much gets it spot on, and open the DRS for the final run to the line, which can be actually an overtaking point on the last lap, and sets the original pole with a 29.4.
Yeah, Will Ants to start a hot lap here. I think C. Freeman as well. We have Travis Scott, who just came second, newly promoted. Jose Miguel is invalid. Closely followed by Gabagai, and he's going to come over the line in third place. Currently, Electric Blade, a full second ahead of Travis Scott as well.
Exactly a second. Oh, big crash of Will.
Oh.
Will spins in place. We saw who was it that Will won board with? Zareska losing the rear last lap, but Zareska caught it in that pass. Will completely loses the left front wheel from his Alfa Romeo. Will be starting from the rear of the grid. Very unfortunate. I did ask, he leaves the section as well. I was expecting him to join us in the podium interviews. I said as much to him. And I think I may have good.
So Loco looks like he's setting up for a lap here. He's got full battery to deploy. Grumpy and Pork Chops coming over, but it looks like Pork Chops is getting a tow from his teammate Grumpy there. That's a proper team right there. A couple of long-time drivers in the Midwest F1 League, of course, one being the commissioner/owner himself. Next over, we have the runner-up in the Division 4 season last season. Frenchie, but I'm not sure what's going on there. He does set a lap over 133, but let off the gas quite a bit. I believe that's Nick Knack, but he's invalid, so he's going to go for another one. See Freeman, he's on a hot, but he is invalid. Same with Jose Miguel, who gets disqualified for spinning out and going the wrong way, so that'll be unfortunate for his qualifying session here. And as he is standing in the Drivers' Championship, he will be standing in the qualifying order, 19th place, last in the lobby.
Yes, disqualifications for going the wrong way. Not too common, but sometimes you just can't turn around. That's really unfortunate for Alfa Romeo because one has lost a wheel and one is disqualified with no time set for either.
Ouch.
So, yeah, big time match.
Yes, and looking at the Division 3 Constructors Championship, Alfa Romeo is down in 9th place. They're doing better than AlphaTauri, who's sitting 10th, almost 150 points back of Alfa Romeo. So this is a good chance for the Tories to catch up to the Romeos.
Indeed. Well, it's only qualifying, of course. There's no points in qualifying other than 3-1. So if you get a pole, that can close up. But it's the race that pays the big points. And they're going to need to have some wheels attacked by the end of it to score any.
You could say qualification could see the one-night stands and race wins get you the wipes. And once again,
That's
Zaretzka goes invalid again. Second hot lap in a row, he's found some difficulties.
Noganator has a purple sector here. He's in the final sector now. So this will be interesting. He's currently sitting second place, just shy of a second behind provisional pole. We'll see if he can. He needs to close up a lot, but it's possible. Got a purple sector. Misses the apex of the last turn though. Power down quite nicely. The RS is open. What can he do? The Haas crosses the line. Not quite, but improves. He's a lot closer, and there's a bit more margin to anyone catching up to him.
So I personally know Noganator, and he's funny with the way he does his qualifying. He will he'll have like 2 attempts on one set of tires every time he goes out in qualifying. And more often than not, even on more used tire, he will improve his second time around.
That's interesting.
Yes.
There's reason to do that more on this game than in previous editions, due to the fact that you can choose to have a balanced array of tyres, which gives you one less soft, which means in qualifying you might want to do those 2 runs on 2 laps in 1 run, as he suggests. So I think it's a smart move from Noganator. I've been doing that recently as well.
So it doesn't actually look like we have anyone on a proper hot lap. Posh Josh just started one. But quickly, while we have some time, we'll look at the Division 2 Constructors Championship and then the Drivers Quick. Now, another proper Constructors battle here. Mercedes and Aston Martin separated by 3 points, and AlphaTauri is only 16 points back of the Mercs. So, quite tight there in the Division 2 Constructors Championship, and Ferrari is just having a woeful time. Double their total points back of Alfa Romeo in 9th. VTEC has taken the lead in the Division 2 Drivers Championship. With the retirement, I believe, of Shelly the Turtle. So now VTEC, the GOAT, sitting in the number 1 spot. Unbelievable. Promoting Nikki to number 2 and Houdini now to number 3. Guitar Man Khan and Frontrunner, as well as Matt Rosie, and cannot forget about T-Brum, are all in the hunt.
Well, that's quite the retirement to make out of the lead of a championship if you're Shelly the Turtle.
Retire when you're on top, isn't that the saying, though?
I mean, retire on the top at the end of the season, Rosberg-wise, but I'll have to talk to Shelly about what happened there.
Not in the middle? Yeah, I had no idea that he was retiring either, but I just out of nowhere saw his name not up at the top, and then, yeah. So I guess things must have changed. And
I hope everything's alright, and it's just an availability thing.
Yes. Exactly. I completely agree. Posh Josh coming over in 9th place. Freeman once again invalid. Dead text message as well, looking for his first time and catching a little bit of the outside wall there in turn 13. Yellows in sector 1. That seems to be all cleared up. We're in the same place, and it looks like we have a Red Bull spun out there at the exit of 13.
That'll be Soy Loco. He's waiting for traffic responsibly, but hopefully he doesn't get disqualified. Ooh, not enough room for a flick spin. Gonna have to do a 7,001 point turn. Oh, very well flick spun actually. I mean, if there's anything I can hand out points for, I mean, that has to be the greatest flick spin.
We should almost make our own point system.
Yeah, a separate thing,
yeah.
Of course. But yes, I'm all for that. Cool plays like that.
Proper driving, good defensive.
I gotta say, being exposed to a lot of other leagues, it gives me a massive appreciation for the drivers in MidWest who rejoin responsibly in the vast case, in most of the cases. Elsewhere, it's just an absolute free-for-all. These guys, they know what they're doing.
Are the stewards in other leagues handled as strictly as this?
Some of them stricter, some of them are not as strict. I think the majority are around the same, if not a little bit stricter.
Oh. So Midwest is soft then?
Well, I think it also makes a difference on how the point system works, because you can cost someone a lot more in certain point schemes by, having them either just pull out of the top 10 or having them out of the race completely. As Pork Chops loses his front wing in a spinning moment and gets himself off the racing line as soon as he can.
He's on 5-lap old softs there.
Yeah, the Aston Martin's much lighter. He's completely lost his front wing. Also responsibly out of the way of everyone. So we'll move on from this.
I'd like to imagine that Pork probably has the least amount of penalties handed out in the league.
I mean, if you divide it by the number of races entered, probably.
Yeah.
But there's been more time for him to get penalties compared to new entrants. So
I'm curious. That's actually. I'm very interested on that. I wonder how many penalties he has total. I don't think it'd be a lot though, because he's a really respected driver, and I mean, I'm sure he wants to lead by example as well.
Yeah, well, I don't have those facts in front of me, but
oh, what the hell?
Present them, we will.
Why are you even here then?
Know.
Why don't you have these random facts that I'm asking?
Look, I have some random facts, but not all the random facts.
not the super random facts.
No, not the super random facts.
Do you have one do you have like a random fact on ready right now? Like, can you hit me with something here? No?
Look, I'm on the spot, but I'll come up with a random fact. I was saying about MidWest members. Well, okay, by the end of this qualifying session, I'll have thought of something.
Okay, fair enough. It was very on the spot. I didn't know if you had maybe random facts written down or something.
No. I just noticed them at some points and then bring it up. Actually, here's one.
Oh.
When you were looking at the Constructors' Championship for Division 2, not only were Ferrari last, but all the Ferrari-powered teams were the bottom three.
Oh.
Triple whammy.
Damn, okay. That is random.
Yeah, I mean, it's very random, but it's also a fact.
Oh, Shelley moved up to D1. What are you talking about? He retired.
Well, you said he retired.
I never said such a thing.
Surprised the heck out of me.
Yeah, he's an Aston Martin now. Did he?
The bit that I should have caught on when I went into the party with him and he was ready to race.
Oh.
I said good luck to him as well.
Yeah.
Oh my god. He really bamboozled me there.
Oh god.
Alright.
Yeah, it's almost one of those things where if I say my fact louder, it's right. Or I said my fact with more confidence.
Yeah.
So it convinced you.
That's a very Bacon move, that is. To have it, to say something with confidence and it just be
completely
not
wrong.
founded in any fact at all.
Oh,
He just doesn't know.
Yeah.
He just doesn't know. He bluffs it.
Yeah.
Alright, Will comes back, and I just realised now, Will has played an absolute blinder here. He crashes out at the start, right? So he's like, what do I do in the 15 minutes in the meantime? I go and practice in time trial and come back in time to grab my grid slot. Smart man.
Wow. So he is as if he totaled his car and then jumped on the simulator until the race started the next day, pulling an all-nighter.
It could be that, or he could have just gone and played a couple of rounds of Among Us.
That's true.
We don't really know with Will.
That is also true.
I think they're equally as likely, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. And equally as beneficial.
For sure.
Oh, Freeman completely launches through that turn. Freeman as well is a very long time driver here in the Midwest F1 League. I remember at one point...
I remember when I joined, we became teammates, I think, in Division 2.
At one point...
So before me.
At one point, it was Freeman and Feeman. There's a Feeman, F-E-M-A-N. And that was really annoying to commentate.
Yep, that makes sense. So, people in the pits have left it very late. They need to emerge right now in order to get around. That includes Nugginator. But, maybe he wants to save tyres. That might be a play as well. Safety cars are quite prevalent around this track.
He does have a psychotic dog that could be taking play.
Oh. Well.
And he's got a Belgian Malinois. I don't know if you know your dogs, but they're very smart.
I do.
Very energetic.
Okay. Well, I can't believe that will help him in this race or qualifying session, but maybe the dog will give him support in some way.
To slow the heart rate down, maybe. Is anyone stressed out in a puppy room? I don't think so.
If they're allergic to dogs, they might be.
That's true. Yeah. What if they're actually, they could be doodle crosses or poodle crosses, because poodles don't shed, and they aren't allergic. Their fur is makes it so people that are allergic typically to dog fur aren't allergic to that type of dog fur.
That could be helpful.
That's why
It's all up in the air, really.
That's why poodle crosses are so big right now. It's because A, they don't shed, and you can't get allergic to their fur. Unless there's something completely wrong with you.
There's something wrong with you.
Yeah.
Unless you're a psychopath.
Yeah, unless you're like twisted, then yeah, you're not allergic. So Pork Chops is probably sitting in his highest ever grid position start right now in 13th place.
Oh man.
It's I mean, with the benefits, the two Alfa Romeo is having some struggles, but this is next level here for him.
I'm on board with Brian Mosser, who's currently one position ahead of Pork, of course. Oh, I thought he was going to come to the line and perhaps beat his time, but he's pulling into the pits. Brian, of course, a former Division 1 race winner and championship contender as well.
Yeah, runner-up for the very first season, way back when.
So we've technically got MidWest royalty here. In 12th and 13th, I guess you could say.
And once again, cannot discount C. Freeman there.
Of course. Well, Electric Blade has extended his gap, and Ray and Gabba have collided with each other in a massive crash. That was huge. That was like an airplane crash. Like they both been cleared to land and taxi along it at the same time.
Oh.
People are weaving between them to complete their final sector, but I feel like everyone's going to have their line blocked. The Williams is sitting directly on the racing line in the braking zone.
See, now these marshals need to grow a pair and get out there and get those cars off.
This is true. This is absolutely true. Get a tractor on the track as well without a safety car. Why not?
Yeah.
Lift it out.
The only thing we're missing is some rain.
Wrong track as well.
Yes.
I feel like this joke is in bad taste. We'll move on from that.
Depends how far. It depends how deep you look into it.
I don't really want to look too deeply into that one.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Don't. Bacon.
So we've got Aston Martin and AlphaTauri here, feeling 11th to 14th in a sort of conga line of purple and green.
Bacon, 13 months in a row here. It's our first month after a full year, if my math is correct. 15 months total. And that's 3 months past a full year. So, thank you very much, Bacon. Best of luck with your endeavors there in Division 1 tonight. I'm rooting for you to get your first top 10 of the season. And I'm not saying that facetiously at all. I'm very serious with that. I want the best out of you, Bacon. I want the best for you.
Don't curse him from a different lobby.
I mean, does that work, though? I mean, tune in after the race to find out.
Let's text it out. Bacon's going to get a podium in D1. Let's see what happens.
Ray just followed? How long have you been here for, man? That's almost offensive.
Man, how funny it would be if I just followed right now.
I'd believe it.
I'm already following. Oh, that was a loud noise.
Yeah, that's my bloody cat. What the hell was that?
Alright, I'll run down the grid while you're investigating. We've got a 7/10 margin of pole for Electric Blade, who's potentially on for a hat-trick of victories here. It's a great effort by him. Noganator joins him on the front row. Also, a great effort by Slayer to bring the Ferrari into third. Soy Loco on fourth position. Bosh Josh, 2 Ferraris there in the top 5. Then it's Gabba Guy, Zareska, Ray, DJ Knick-Knack, Travis Scott in the top 10. Then it's Dead Text Message Grumpy, Brian
Everyone shame Sully.
Baba Yaga, Freeman, and Frenchie with times down to 17th, all eligible for the hardest charger point. Willans and Jose Miguel in those Alfa Romeos at the grid.
Sorry, Jacko.
That's alright, I don't mind loud noises.
I needed my cat to be shamed. Because cats tend not to listen. Even when they know when they're doing something wrong. But anywho, while we wait, let's check up on what happened in most recent Division 1. Last week being in China, where we saw an absolute GSR lockout. And EDA got Palmer with a very proper 5th place finish. A race day as well. The 2 Alfa Romeos having a solid result there. But the Mercs take the cake. Ryan Rod's winning. Ed wins 2nd. And now looking back at the conversation we had with Ryan Rod's prior to the race in the interview after, it was no surprise that Ryan Rod's took that, but instead it was more impressive on how well Edwin did. Edgar as well taking Scornsey in the final lap or the second final lap to get that 3rd place podium there. So a little bit of gap closed by Ryan Rod's in the Drivers' Championship there. But as we look at it right now, the 1 and 2 favorite for taking home the Drivers' Championship is actually separated by race day. Currently sitting in 2nd right now. Also, not too far back is Scornsey putting in some proper results, but still needs even better results to close that gap to how consistent the man in 1st has been this season. And we see in the back of the pack there, Impossible finally working himself up and out of the relegation battle, and Light Work is actually replaced by Shelley. I wasn't able to update that. So we'll see what is going to happen the rest of the season, but the relegation battle is afoot as much as it can be. Those are very tight margins there. Mercedes leading the way with McLaren sitting 2nd, trying to break that McLaren curse, but the Mercs are looking so very fast this season, even with Scornsey leading the way. Edgar trying to pull his weight and does so last week, but could not overtake the Mercs in China. Alfa Romeo also having a good season. Haas not too far back, as well as Williams also in the 900s. Looking forward to the future schedule. We have Saudi Arabia today, and that writing is small on my screen, but it is Spa next week. Ooh, Spa. Oh, we should have done Spa with Division 3, because we know how much Pork Chops hates that. It would have been perfect. Put him right on camera in the track he hates the most. Okay, anywho. And then to follow Hungary after that. So a lot of exciting things to happen. Continue on in Season 8. And hopefully you're enjoying it, and hopefully it only gets better and better and better. But we are about to get back into it here in Division 3, Saudi Arabia. I mean, Jacko, like, this is some fun stuff here. This is some proper entertainment.
Oh, yeah. And that's why we love it. That's why we do it. That's why we commentate. That's why we participate. All those things. And, yeah, we're just waiting for the countdown to start and get onto this formation lap.
Now, I don't want to toot my own horn here, Jacko. You know me, I'm a fairly humble guy.
Of course.
Yes, but I've been, playing GT7 right now, putting in a decent amount of hours into that. I'm enjoying the game quite a bit, actually. I'm finding myself on the top part of a lot of these time trials with a lot of people in our league there. And I'm just saying, I might have it there.
Well, why not try F1 then? I'm sure I can broadcast instead. You'll be in D1 by no time.
I just, it's not my place though, right? Like, I'm the face of it. I mean, and as soon as we can get you up there, you'll be the face of it as well. And I mean, people can't see my camera when you're commentating on me, right? Like, it's just, it wouldn't work out. I mean, logistically.
You think that it's that valuable to the stream? It's what brings in all the views, your face?
Geography, Scientology. Like, it just doesn't, if you look at it on all of the different ologies, it just doesn't add up, right?
I'll take your word for it.
The study of wombology, even.
I mean, ichthyology. That's a study of fish, but Dice isn't in this lobby.
Oh. Yeah, there's no other people with fish names either, so. Damn, sometimes this, like, Discord bot slacks, man. It just posted the @everyone for our stream a minute ago. We've only been live for a half hour. Oh, that's poor.
It's in time for the race. It's not quali.
Fair enough. Yes. And as well as a quick
looking down the grid.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
No, mine was just bullshit. Go ahead.
I was going to say, we have no one on softs, which is probably not surprising. They probably could make it one-stop work. Softs are hard, but I think it's way more advantageous to use the mediums at some point, especially as the mediums can go over halfway. Some drivers might be able to stretch it to a soft run at the end. But I think I would start on hards here. I love starting on hards and putting around laps sort of 8 to 12 because mediums can go well over halfway, and if there's a safety car at the right time, you need those mediums available to you.
I mean, how big of a fall have the softs taken in comparison from last game to this game? Am I wrong in that statement? I think I'm pretty bang on
I
with it.
mean, they're quite large. At some tracks, they're fine. You can work with them. They just overheat so easily. That's the problem. It's not necessarily the wear; it's the heat. And everyone has the struggles with tire pressures. You can see a lot of people have it right down to the minimum because of that, and it's mainly for the softs work.
I didn't know that. A couple of disqualifications handed out. Some drivers maybe taking a little bit too aggressive of a line or a turn for the into line 1. Turn 1. Travis Scott as well. How many other people here? But we'll see. This is gonna be dangerous. Just a first statement there. This is gonna be fun. This is gonna be exciting, and I'm hoping that all these guys make it out clean. And no safety car race is very unlikely here. But if it happens, I'm gonna try and commentator's curse reverse it. We're gonna get a safety car by lap 3. But okay, 5 red lights. We have it, and they go out now. Pretty good. And off we go. Electric Blade leading us into turn 1. Can Noganator get off well? No, he cannot. Not anywhere near the same pace as Electric Blade, which shoots down the inside line, cutting across Laser Eyes. Soy Loco finding a little bit of space there. Now alongside Slazer Eyes, Slazer Eyes loses a couple positions after nearly having second place through turn 1. Electric Blade is already off and running there. Quite a few position changes up in the back there. Zurexka is very close to Gabba Guy, but can't quite get the overtake there. In the back of the pack, we see dead text message and
terrible.
Posh
Josh rejoined into Will, and Will just got obliterated. There's dead text messages involved somehow as well. I'm afraid that's really bad luck for Will. That wasn't his fault. He's been killed, essentially. So he's turned 2 sectors in the entire lobby up to... I mean, not even 2 sectors. 1.5 sectors through qualifying in the race.
Oh,
the poor guy.
Yeah, we could probably get him in the in the booth.
Oh, God.
Why not? He was wanting to cast before, and then Grumpy offered him the seat.
Oh, man. Yeah, Will and I commentate on Mondays together, so he'll be a good addition to the box, but man, what awful luck. Finally comes back to a race seat, and that was just unbelievable. He'd already had some form of incident at turns 1 or 2 and was sort of recovering from that, and as I got on board with him, he just got absolutely ploughed. There was a safety car out, by the way. I don't know if you mentioned that.
Yes, yeah, I didn't, but I saw it. I'd imagine that everyone else saw it, but yeah.
Yeah.
My reverse commentator curse did not.
It really works perfectly.
Yeah, did not come to fruition. Oh my God, yeah.
Let's have a look at positions gained, and it's 9 positions gained by Jose Miguel. He started last, of course, being disqualified. The biggest mover of those available for the point is Frenchie, up 5 into 12th. I'm going to have a lot of pit stops though. 13th down are all pitting. I'm not sure if this is for new wings. I imagine a lot of them will be. Fox Josh definitely serving a penalty as well. Some of them may choose to go to hards for the end. I don't know that is all of them. Let's check the tyres they're on. They're all pouring out of the pits on mediums apart from Grumpy. So Grumpy, the only person who is legal and likely to be able to make the end of the race.
Okay, so this was the. I mean, it's not too funny, but this was a comment before. I'm available to hop in a seat or hop on comms, whichever is more helpful. I offered him to duo with Hotspot tonight. He said it didn't work. Grumpy old Catman offered him to drive in Division 3. He took it, and now he's in the booth. I mean, it happened so fast. It's almost like he could have joined another lobby quick and raced in there.
When you say he's in the booth, which booth is he in?
Hopefully he'll come in ours. I'm waiting for him to join the waiting room.
Alright, so Ray is still the highest placed hard runner. Of course, 5th place for him. Surrounded by heaps of mediums. In fact, 4 in front, 6 behind. 2 other hard runners, Frenchie and 12th. Grumpy in 13th. Of course, as predicted.
A little bit of insight here that DJ Knickknack has offered. He has some rear wing damage.
Oh, the 9th place, man. Yeah, that's not going to help. Depending on the colour of that could be even race ending. You know that when you have that sort of orange-red colour, at certain tracks it just becomes impossible. I imagine this would be one of them in that first sector. It would be very tough to remain in control. So hopefully for him it's very light. It would also be a problem for straight line speed. I've seen that happen a few times as well. I wonder if Soy Loco and Slayer got away with no damage after that turn 1. Actually, no, it was Noganator that was impacted in the rear by Slayer. I think as Noganator sort of came flying down the inside and Slayer didn't have much time to react to that. Hopefully their front and rear are intact. Neither of them pit in this opportunity. Let's see how that comes out.
Yes. Quickly, before we say hello to Will here, I don't think we mentioned, or I'm not sure if you just mentioned there, the weather for tonight is supposed to be all clear in Saudi Arabia. Big surprise there. But, anywho, Will.
Cloudy with their chance of missiles.
So, you have a minute here until we get the restart.
Wow.
Tell us about how things went for you this evening.
Too loud?
No, you're fine.
Oh, yep, that's better.
I got taken out by someone in turn 1, then I got the car back on the track, and then I got taken out by past Josh. So
that's
yeah,
basically
TLDR,
what we
people are absolute fucking idiots. Sorry,
Okay.
Forgot we were on stream.
No, you did not. And how do you think this is going to affect the rest of your race this evening?
Huh?
That's a joke. Okay. Well, we're back at it here. We're about to be, anywho. Electric Blade leads us. Noganator sitting second. Some position changes all over the place. A lot of people dealing with some sort of broken piece of equipment somewhere on their car. We'll see how things turn out from this point on. My commentator's curse actually came back and destroyed this race in the end. But Electric Blade sends it. He did have a proper lead before the carnage ensued. And Soy Loco...
Soy Loco's having a go here. Forces a defensive move from Noganator. But Noganator does place the Haas very well. The position is retained for now. It's all fairly well spread out. No one's side by side, as far as I can tell. The closest at the moment looks like to be Grumpy, although he's falling back. Oh no, we've got a move there, Jose Miguel. Although I'm not sure he was fully within track limits, makes the move there for P8, continuing his march up the grid really from 19th to 8th.
Yes, we'll see if Will Ans will join back in. I'm not sure. But anywho, we continue on. And we'll see if maybe we can get some clean racing from this point on. I mean, it's so very tough, though. We have to make a point of that here in Saudi Arabia. It's so very fast and so very tight in a lot of areas. I mean, not getting through Sector 1, yeah, but I mean, still, a little bit of slack can be given.
Yeah, in the chat, Boss Josh does apologise to Will. I think he realises he was pretty much squarely to blame there, which is, I mean, it happens. You can sometimes get a bit panicked when you're facing the wrong way, as Noganator makes the move to the lead. Yeah, sometimes you just panic when you're facing the wrong way. You don't want to get disqualified and do the turn a bit early. Yeah, that's unfortunate for both parties there. Noganator is clear in the lead though, and that was done without any DRS. May have used a bit of battery, 50% currently.
Not too much more than Blade, though.
We'll have to keep an eye on how they look to be comparing top speed-wise, as Slayer is getting very close and friendly to the rear of Soy Loco. There was no contact, but certainly close enough to read any fine print on the rear of that car.
Jose Miguel as well. Very tight on Zretska as he goes deep through 13, and we are wheel to wheel on the exit here. And it looks like Jose Miguel's just got that car in front and will be able to edge that position out, jumping up into 7th place with a mistake there from Zretska and a little bit of difficulties there from Soy
That's
Loco.
a Red Bull facing the wrong way. Yep.
And of course, with the restart, he's got to wait for the whole queue to pass.
Oh! Big
Who is-
collision. There was C. Freeman, I think, made contact, and that has taken the wing off Frenchie's car. There was firstly contact between the Alpine and the Red Bull, and that sent
and Monster's out.
the Alpine. Yeah, I couldn't tell who the 3 cars were, but it was definitely Alpine. Oh, huge crash.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's a massive pileup.
Oh my.
Freeman went into the side of Posh Josh, who was already wrecked, and then the next car came into that. I think that would have been dead text message, who had nowhere to go. 3 cars strewn across the racing line, and that is for sure a safety car.
My goodness.
I hope you were on board with someone there, because
No.
that was utterly incredible.
No, I did not, unfortunately. I saw Monster go down. And then, yeah.
Walkshops has a puncture, by the way. He's in the pits with a right front that is flapping its carcass off.
Yeah.
There's further pit stops as well for Soy Loco and Frenchie.
My goodness. So remember how I said it was a good race for AlphaTauri to try and close the gap on Romeo, but unfortunately both Tories are already out.
That is true. There's not been any closing from AlphaTauri. One Alfa Romeo is out though, so it all depends on Jose Miguel now in that particular battle, if there's any change at all. But I have to say, that was as if a roadblock was just put up in front of Freeman there. He was already suffering from the previous collision that involved the Red Bull of Soy Loco. Soy Loco wasn't at fault there. He didn't move. It was just, I guess, unsighted. And then 2 collisions in the span of 3 corners. There was just nowhere to go for at least 2 of those guys.
Yeah. It's and that's why for IRL, that's why a lot of people are so nervous about this track in a lot of regards, is that if a situation like that happens and a guy is just
this is the understatement quote of the century.
Yeah.
Posh Josh goes, "Your DNF wasn't best placed."
Oh God. Well, Posh Josh doesn't have to worry about rear wing damage anymore or any body damage.
I think it was DJ Knick-Knack that
yes, it was as well.
Rear damage at that point, so he's still 9th, and he's got less cars behind him to lose out to. And we've got pitters late. Why would you pit this lap as opposed to the last lap? Electric Blade picked up a penalty pitting as well as he goes to hards, which I presume will make the end. And really should have pit the previous lap and probably not sped into the pit lane. This is. I imagine there might have been secondary contact then, maybe during the safety car to force these guys to change the wings. Or out of the pits was very close between Slayer and Frenchie. Slayer does manage to get in front, but it was by the skin of his teeth. I have a quick look at the race director to see what wings were fixed up. No front wings on lap 6. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 out of the 12 pit stops we've had so far have been for a new front wing.
Oh my goodness.
Pork Chops is for a fixture puncture. There's no front wing change for him. And don't forget that these 4 that pitted without a front wing change may have accidentally had it set to auto or no, and not fixed the broken wing. That's always possible. Electric Blade re-emerged in 10th place. Of course, in the lead pack he was, pole sitter.
Now with these safety cars dished out so very early and extending life onto tires, do you think these, Ray and Grumpy Old may have a chance to go to the softs at the end, or is it just not viable at all?
Ray can, yeah, for sure. Grumpy might just be able to get to the end himself.
Yes, true. He's already pitted.
Yeah. Yeah, the hard lasts for ages around here. I'll get to my notes, but I'm pretty sure it's pretty much the entire race they can go they need to. And with so many safety car laps, yeah, 19 laps. We're going to have more than 6 laps under safety car. So, yeah, he can make them work, especially if he's kind to them.
And we got to think here as well, Electric Blade, the quickest guy in the lobby, through qualifying that is at least, and it looked like he had a good stranglehold on the race to start, is sitting with the only person with the penalty, 5 seconds, and we'll see how that's going to affect him later on. Noganator waiting very late and not being able to catch anyone out on timing. Instead, we're just going to have a massive cluster
got
here.
caught out. He's having to be side by side here with Jose Miguel.
Yeah. Oh, and contact.
Oh, there's definite contact there. Jose got better traction there. Finds himself on the podium, having started on 19th position. Pork Chops now makes the move on his team.
And a big spin from Jose now.
Oh, in the way.
Oh, no, that's not Jose. That was Zareczka. Yeah.
Everyone avoided him.
Yeah.
They went each side. That was quite... Oh, spin for Travis. He was on the curb. He was side by side with someone as well. And with that rear wing... Was it rear wing damage he said? No, it was... Yeah, okay, that's tough. I don't think he hit anything. So he may be okay to continue. Zareczka's now having further issues, as his tyres are probably really hot from that spin.
Soy being able to get past grumpy old Catman. This is very important laps or corners here for Noganator. He's already increased that gap to a second and a half, having the pace advantage over these hards.
Here comes Electric Blade past Pork Chops, blasts the battery. Pork lets it happen, I think. Yeah, Electric Blade making a nice way up the grid there, a few positions already, and that's control loss in front of him, and well caught by DJ Knickknack. Well caught indeed. Electric Blade was very smart to let off the throttle there and just allow him to catch it and not run into it, like we've seen happen already at that same part of the track.
Oh my goodness.
2x2 happening behind. Is that what you're looking at? DJ Knickknack and Pork Chops? Yep.
Oh, yeah, this big group here. Soy Loco is just in between, or just in the back, I guess, of this pack here. Pork Chops, though.
Is now out.
Pork Chops might go for a move here down on turn 1 on Knickknack. Knickknack goes deep up over the curb on turn 2. Pork Chops as well goes deep through turn 2, and Knickknack will be able to hold it in the end. Slazer Eyes and Baba Yaga are dueling it out as well. Slazer Eyes is able to get 10th place. And the longer that
had been side by side.
I was just going to quickly say here, the longer that Jose Miguel is stuck behind Ray is better for Noganator if you can keep increasing that gap.
Absolutely. Electric Blade has a 5-second gap in front of him after making all those passes to close down the Gabba guy. But of course, everyone in front of him has not pitted. Electric Blade really needs there to be no further safety cars, so he can get a 5-second lead once everyone in front of him is pitted. Or if there's a safety car that everyone will pit and he can clear that 5-second penalty and come out and still in a good position. Soy Loco is looking at the back of Pork Chops here, both on the same age tyre, same compound as well.
Soy
being used by the Red Bull, and
God,
Pork does not defend it.
Yeah. Soy got such a good run out of that turn there, turn 24, 25 kind of. Goes a little bit deep there through the final turn, but he should be under no pressure. And we're finally going to get DRS for, I believe, the first time this race. Electric Blade setting the fastest lap on hards. I mean, that's just kind of an inkling at the pace that the guy has. And he's got a good time slot ahead of him there to just kind of put in some solid laps.
Yeah, he's already closed that gap by about 1.2 since I looked at that. So, Gabba guy will be looking at his mirrors in the not too distant future and seeing a Red Bull. Wait, an Alpine. I got my blues confused. Sorry about that. Yeah.
Yellow in sector 1. Whoa, DJ Knickknack in a very, just
precarious place to be.
Yeah.
He's one of those drivers that rejoins responsibly, though, so congratulations for that at least.
Yeah. That'd be a point gifted from you.
Yeah. I mean, it's so valuable. I mean, just see what happened to Will and how pissed off he was there about that not happening for him. It's just needs to be appreciated when people do the right thing.
Yeah, Jose very close onto the back of Ray Ray. Overtake should be coming fairly soon here.
All the while, though, that gap to first is increasing. Nominator has a 3-second advantage as we speak. In fact, with DRS, the move isn't as simple as it might have been expected here. For
Ray Ray with a hard defense there through turn 27. Gets a pretty good launch there out of the final turn, but Jose Miguel will just have it in the end here. Coming over the line, Jose Miguel will take second place into turn 1. Ray Ray now dropping back into third, and it's important for Ray Ray here to try and keep as close as he can with Jose.
I tell you, Ray Ray didn't want to break any later because he would have had a meal of Alfa Romeo gearbox then in his mouth. That was very close. Pork Chop staying with Soy Loco here, and probably won't be able to. Feel like I probably won't be able to drop him if he stays within DRS now. It's just so powerful. There's 3 zones across the lap there. The only place you can really escape is in this twisting section at the start of the lap, which it is possible, but Pork Chop does a good job there of staying just 4 tenths behind the rim. Slayer as well is right with these guys. They've all dropped off the back of Electric Blade though, to the tune of at least a 5-second penalty. So he may actually be reasonably safe in that regard, but a safety car will be not helpful for him. That's Electric Blade.
Yeah, Slayer is draped all over Pork Chops through Sector 2 there. He's going to want to try and get this overtake done pretty soon and then have his hands at Soy Loco, but Pork Chop's putting pressure on Soy as well. Yeah.
Here comes Slayer though.
Oh, there's Pork, and Pork somehow keeps the car alive.
I love that he caught a bit of his front wing in his rear wing. That was wonderful.
I didn't get that angle.
Pit stops up front for the medium runners, possibly anticipating a safety car if they saw a yellow flag there. Or it's just the best time to pit, which it probably is. They should all go to hard tyres here, which will be easily making the end of the race. Promotes Ray Ray and Electric Blade to first and second.
Pork Chops as well, yeah, expected into the pit with his need of a new wing. I mean, he should be able to send mediums to the rest of this race now, though.
Correct. And the problem will be, though, some people might not have another set of mediums. You would hope they chose to have a balanced selection of tyres at the start of the lobby, but if they didn't, they might be old mediums. Okay, Pork Chops, yeah, look at those. They're 1 lap old mediums, so that's what he started the race on. Pitted them like 1.
I think Nick Knack, once again, finding some difficulties there. And we'll see. I don't see any wing damage. It looks like
Pork Chops is on a 3-stop already. So 3 sets of mediums have been on that car. So he definitely chose balanced. Yeah, these have 1 lap of wear on them as you can fit, which is fine. No real issue there.
Yeah, and I imagine that lap even came with the safety car, or from the beginning of the race. So
that's right. So it was basically a sector worth of wear.
It was a formation lap worth of wear.
Oh yeah, true. Electric Blade has 3 seconds to find here on Ray Ray to get to the lead. Ray Ray will probably be pitting soon. The mediums can go the rest of the way quite easily, and protecting himself against that undercut might be a reasonable choice, actually, from those 3 who pitted him around him. They emerged, where did they emerge? No, actually kind of in a bit of traffic, so maybe if he stays out for a bit, he may be helped, as Grumpy cedes the position there to Nog.
Yeah, Noga has 2 drivers in between himself and Jose. But Nog has to make some moves himself, too.
So Slayer has overtaken Noganator in the pit phase. Obviously, as he's going pit under the safety car, as we expected. But Noganator has come out in a reasonable position for having much fresher tyres and not pitting under that safety car. So we'll see if he can sort of... when did Soy Loco? 7 lap old tyres. Okay, so he should be able to make an overtake on Soy Loco at some point and possibly challenge Slayer as well.
Jose's getting very brave here, wanting to get this move done early, even before the DRS detection, or even before the DRS wing is opened, and jumps up into 7th place now. No, though, right on the back of Soy, and it looks like he's going to get that move done fairly routinely. Able to line up his braking point into the final turn as well, and now looks forth to Slayerized.
Indeed, that's just a 1 second gap now. And
Soy might be coming back.
Massively coming back at Noganator, who's already flashing on the ERS. Both of them are quite low, actually. It's a brilliant move around the outside, and makes it stick in turn 2 as well. Wonderful driving from Soy Loco.
Yeah, it's as if he had that planned there, but now he's once again has to hold off Noganator. And Soy goes a little bit deep there, and Nog has to slow up to be sure not to hit the back of that Red Bull. Takes a little bit of chunk.
It really looks like there's less wing on that Red Bull in the humps here.
And Nog once again does get the overtake on Soy. And now back up into 4th place. Soy Loco just delaying the inevitable, as it seemed. And Nog is actually using up quite a bit of DRS, or ERS there, sorry. Travi
he wants to get within that 1 second of Slayer, I guess, before starting to save, if he plans on saving. He's 2/10 outside of it, though. Although that is decreasing as we speak. Now on 0.
Oh, I think he may have just got it.
He really doesn't want to have any electricity with him.
And oh no, he just missed out.
Look how much he's closing up. How much straight line speed does the dude have?
I have no clue. But Slayerized going deep there is going to help out Nog, but I don't think he's going to be able to get anything into turn 1, especially not having any ERS. He's going to close that gap. He's going to take quite the lunge here. Oh my goodness gracious, he's going to get it done.
Maybe.
Allows the line.
Good traction on the left. Yeah. Slayer sort of closed his steering up there to make sure he didn't hit him, and that reduced his possible exit speed. So Noganator, wow, came from a second back only like half a lap ago. Blitzes past Slayer, who's no slouch. Looking good for a podium, Slayer is. Ray is now, well, he's got company, let's put it that way. Should be making a pit stop very soon, unless he wants to stretch it to the softs, in which case probably getting to around lap 19 would be helpful. He could be also waiting for a safety car, you don't know. Will he come in? Let's see. Gap to leader. 18-second pit transit, I reckon. So he's looking at coming out in around 8th place currently, if he were to pit immediately. So, I mean, reasonably close behind Grumpy and Jose Miguel as well.
So Noganator's really trying to separate himself from Slayerized, but Slay does have the advantage on the battery and will be able to stay into DRS. Ray getting overtaken. Yep.
Electric Blade. Yeah, that was just a straightforward DRS move. There's no really reason for Ray to defend that. In fact, probably better if he can just tag along with the DRS, given he's on a different strategy. Even if the safety car comes out and Electric Blade chooses to pit, he will lose out. He needs to get a 5-second gap. So Ray is probably best choice. There was let the Alpine go. So Nick overtakes Pork Chops with DRS.
Soy has lost DRS to Slay. Slayerized is still holding tight onto that. Noganator is trying to close these gaps, and I mean, it's not the worst position that he's in. I mean, of course, he is still 10 seconds back, but all he's got to worry about is just putting in some proper times here, as once again DJ and Pork swap positions. Pork getting that spot back.
Yeah, it's just one of those tracks where...
Pork has a little bit of the wall, sorry. And he's going to have to concede that position. Ooh. He just kind of bounced right off of it.
Yeah, I don't see any end plates missing, but there still might be damage on that Aston Martin. He's going to have Travis to worry about as well.
Now it's Jose's turn to try and work through Soy and
Ray finally makes his pit stop It's a bit too early for softs, I believe, as DJ Nick spins out. Ray Ray's probably going to put mediums on here. Definitely mediums. I mean, these will for sure make the end. He's going to be flying. I imagine it's going to be 8th place on rejoin here. Just in front of Baba Yaga.
Yeah, he'll hold 7th, and now he's got a lot of hard compounds ahead of him, but it's quite the gap he needs to close.
Well, Grumpy's not too far ahead. There's a penalty for Soy Loco as well, so it only needs to be within that penalty time, not necessarily ahead. So top 5 looks very, well, more than plausible at least for the McLaren man. We'll see what happens with those up front as well. As hard will make it, but I don't know how fast they'll be. For sure, Ray Ray can push the rest of the way.
Okay, so ever since we had that second set of chaos ensue, the race has really settled down here. The Gaba guy's very close onto Frenchie, though, and he may look for a move into 13.
He got so close he actually had to back off.
Yeah.
Frenchie cedes the position, though, with no fight whatsoever. However, Ray Ray now is the one to be looking at. He's well within DRS of Grumpy and has the tyres to make this pass happen very quickly. Goes for the outside manoeuvre at the final turn. And Grumpy has a bit of a wonky line through there. Let it happen. Wasn't really a point in fighting that from his perspective. He'll be hoping to make the end, I guess, or maybe hoping for a safety car. Grumpy sort of in no man's land there, especially with a penalty. 5-second gap in front of Ray Ray to catch up to Soy Loco for the move on track, disregarding the penalty Soy Loco has.
Yeah, okay, Jose Miguel has now worked himself into ERS and just picks up a penalty. Travis Scott and Pork Chops now as Travis going for it here. Pork Chops not going to let it happen easily, though, as we break down the pit straight, and Pork's got the DRS wing open. A little bit of slipstream there from Travi, but it doesn't look like it's going to be able to help him enough into turn 1 there, as Pork holds on to 11th place. We'll jump back over to Jose here as he is closing that gap now to Slayerize.
Yep, that gap is within DRS range, as is Travis behind Pork. Looks like a move might be made here by Jose Miguel, imminently on Slayer. Slayer takes the inside. Was that a bit of a lift there?
Yeah, I think so. I think he was lifting for turn 1.
He wants the DRS in this particular stroke, make the move and then escape in that twisty section. And I think it's going to be, no fight whatsoever. Nothing can be done really on this track in terms of defence.
Quite elementary, my dear Watson.
Yeah, very powerful DRS. Meanwhile, Ray Ray's stomping into the gap, Soy Loco. Of course, Ray Ray is the man who won the other street circuit this season in Azerbaijan. So, hoping to repeat the podium at least, maybe. See how far he can get. Those gaps are definitely reducing in front of him, so I wouldn't put it past him to actually score a podium here.
This is Pineapple Citrus. So Electric's actually looking for a turkey here. Trying to go 3 wins in a row. Nognator has quite a bit to do to try and close that. Sorry.
Why is that called a turkey?
It's a bowling term.
3 in a row, okay, yeah. I was going to say, why not just a hat trick, but yeah, okay, turkey and something. Didn't you say something about a golden turkey or something back in season 2 to Honda?
I mean,
Or
Honda.
golden sombrero or something?
A sombrero is a baseball term for striking out 3 times in a row. And then a
Well,
golden
there's some term for 6 or something in a row.
maybe. I mean, you got to look back at that now. At Honda's dominance there. 1, 2, 4, 6. I mean, he had 6 wins in a row. That's got to be like a platinum turkey or something.
Platinum turkey.
Okay, so everyone's kind of separated themselves. The only real battle
Yeah.
that we have.
We've got one DRS gap going there. It's between 11th and 12th. However, Ray is rapidly approaching 5th place, and that will be the thing to keep an eye on, I believe. They need at 1.3 right now. Won't be long before that's within a second.
So Travi did the same thing that Jose did, where he held off coming into turn 27 to get that DRS for turn 1 here. Pork Chops is going to make this difficult on him.
Low on battery. Goes to the outside with the McLaren. Does he have the room to make this move?
Ooh.
He's a bit tentative, I think, and possibly could have had a better exit, but responsible as well.
Yeah, slots right behind
Pork turned in a bit early, turned out of the corner. It really scared Travis there. It was almost a code brown for the McLaren.
Oh my god, yeah, Ray's very close now to Soy. This should be coming very soon here.
Yeah, Ray needs to make the move as soon as possible so he can get after the cars in front again. Goes to the outside at the last turn. Same manoeuvre he made on Grumpy. Navigator with the fastest lap now on 9-lap-old hards. That's very impressive. We'll see if Ray can challenge that. I would imagine he could.
Yeah, no dumped the battery there, though. He's back down to sub 10. And the other McLaren, Travis Scott, now trying to get the move done here on Pork. And he is going to send it here around the outside line, going the deep way around the track, and will launch back over across into the into the turn lane. Oh my goodness.
Well executed there, particularly if he can stay in front there, but the DRS might make that difficult. He's flashing with low battery as well as Pork. And Pork closed the gap quite significantly there on the run to the final turn. Now he's going to have an opportunity into turn 1. Let's see what happens.
Can he close this distance down?
Yes, he can.
Yeah.
Does he go for it though?
Oh.
Goes for the inside manoeuvre. The McLaren is still there. There's contact. And the McLaren will stay in front. Well defended from Travis. We'll see if he can break the second barrier now, because he completely misses the track. So Sueloco wasn't able to stay with Ray. Travis had a bit of an error there, I think, and fell back behind Pork Chops.
Yeah.
Now he's outside of the areas.
See if we can get an angle at his wing there. He is without.
Now, the interesting thing here is
Yeah, he's without the
he's
end
starting to
plate.
reduce the gap to Electric Blade, who's on 15-lap-old hards. They should be fine to make the remainder of the race. Just he needs to worry maybe about just nursing them a little bit. I think the gap is big enough. Although it's only 3.3 actually with that 5-second penalty, so Navigator should keep pushing. His tyre life will be fine.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got. I mean, I don't want to say he's got nothing to lose at this point, because I mean Saudi does bite, but I mean, why not? You've got nearly 4 seconds behind you, plus a guy with the penalty, so it doesn't hurt just to send it here.
Yeah. Ray has a penalty as well. I'm not sure when exactly that happened, but that will really detract from any possibility of getting further up the grid. The car in front, even if he catches, does not have a penalty. So it might be consigned to 5th here for Ray.
And I mean, not too far out of the equation, some potential difficulties from Jose Miguel could bring Slayer Eyes back into it. I mean, they're separated by a quarter of a second.
2 tenths essentially.
Yeah. With Jose's penalty, Jose does have far more battery saved up. It might be loading for a potential hot lap charge, or fastest lap charge at the end of the race. But I mean, cannot count that out.
Yep. Well, we're on lap 23. It's almost impossible for a safety car to come out now. So Electric Blade is looking decent for a top 2. It just depends whether that gap comes beneath 5 seconds. Navigator has reduced it in the last lap by, I think, around a second, maybe 8 tenths. So that might be a nail biter come the end.
Yeah, he's putting in some really proper laps here. I mean, Electric Blade, with the situations that he was having earlier on, has done a really good job to get himself back up into the top, and currently sitting on the potential for a win, but is not at all locked in at this point yet. Still 2 full laps to go here. Let's see who's position changes here. So I mean, Jose Miguel is out of collecting hardest charger, but has put in an absolute banger of a race. Now he's completely opened up that gap to Slazerized, as with the penalty that sits at just sub 2 seconds. So I think he's dumping a little bit of battery here now. But Baba
There's two
Yaga,
drivers up 7 places from their grid slot, Baba Yaga and Frenchie, the highest of which is Baba Yaga, so Hill would get the point at the moment.
and Baba Yaga might get a second or another position as well. He's looking like it with Grumpy Old Catman. 6 seconds worth of penalties there too. So,
Ooh, yeah, so that would be 8 positions gained. Only half of what Jose Miguel has done, but of course, Jose Miguel disqualified. Ineligible for that point, as he sets the fastest lap and grabs that point.
wow, he opened up nearly 3 seconds to Slayerized.
That's what happens when you dump the battery big time. Lead gap is 7 seconds with less than 2 laps remaining.
And now we got Ray Ray. Ray Ray is right on the back of Slayerized now. He's closed up that gap, and Slayerized is really struggling for battery here.
Yeah, Ray Ray needs to make a move though and get 3 seconds up the road, so that seems tough to manage if you're Ray Ray. Let's see how old the tyres are on Slayer though.
17
laps.
Oh, yellow in
That's
sector 2. I think that's Knick Knack.
Yeah, it's Knick Knack.
Yeah.
It's in the wrong way.
He's got to
Finishing
stay out of the way of
left,
Noganator.
Score some points. There goes Noganator.
Okay.
Flies through. And that gap is reducing still. 6.3. Only 1.4 in the remaining 4 sectors of racing. Let's have a look at the tyres on Electric Blade. They're 17 laps old. A little bit of graining.
Yeah, just a bit.
They look fine.
Yeah, and he still has, like, at this point, 10 times the battery that Noga has. And it looks like he's going to start dumping it here.
Yeah, and he needs to. Absolutely needs. He needs to nail this last lap. Just in case. This is not comfortable by any means.
No.
As far as 6.3 second gaps go, it's not comfortable.
Ray went.
And
Yeah, that was
Slayer,
a massive lunge there. And Slayer will actually have DRS now. Jumps back into the slipstream and gain a little bit of speed advantage here. And what side is he going to pick? He's going to go for the outside line here. And it does not have the pace, but does has the deep braking. But it looks like Ray Ray's got that fairly
close.
comfortable.
That's all he needs to do. Stay within 3 seconds.
No need. Baba Yaga might be looking to do this on just track position alone, and he's right on the back of Grumpy Old Catman, who's nursing some 23-lap old hards.
Yep, and passing to the last corner is, of course, very realistic at this track, the DRS. So that might be his plan here. Gap still 6.4, but battery has been dumped on the Haas a bit too much compared to Electric, who has still 30% there. Only a few corners left for the Alpine man to make it 3 in a row, a hat-trick of victories, which will elevate him a long way in the driver's standings for sure. Let's see now, actually.
At this point, well on his way up to Division 2. Yeah.
And in fact, P2 is out of the race. So this will be massive gains for Electric Blade, who exits the final corner. Starts weaving. Don't cost yourself too much time there, man. 5-second penalty will be applied. Here comes Nuganator. Won't be close enough, but a brilliant drive from the front row to second place. Jose Miguel with 16 places gained. Fantastic drive as well. Paul picks up a very late penalty there. Hope it doesn't affect him. It won't, because Travis has 6 seconds.
And Baba Yaga is going to get the job done on track for Grumpy Old Catman. Doesn't need the penalties in the end.
Or does he?
Yeah, Grumpy's going to drag him to the end here.
Oh, it's close, but
you're
right. Baba Yaga does hold it for 7th on track and 7th in the end.
It was just a 6-second gap between them.
Yeah, we should mention that Ray Ray did cross in 4th, but that penalty saw him lose out to Slayer. I think Ray Ray needed a bit earlier, honestly, to get more out of those mediums. Possibly could have been 4th. Yeah. Final drives across the line here. Comes 4th. Let's see how many stops that man has made this race. It's a restart for Cork. Most pit stops of anyone in the race. Not a single driver used a soft compound in that entire race.
Yeah, I'm surprised no one at the back of the pack just chalked it and went for it. I mean, after the chaos kind of settled down, it was a good one.
Yeah, not the most chaotic second half of the race, but the first half certainly provided for us with the airplane crashes, train wrecks as they were. I mean, gee,
It
the
seemed
3-car pileup.
It seemed like everyone just needed a full lap just to get their feet under themselves and then to settle in.
So Grumpy did actually make 24 laps work on hards, so shout out to him for that. He said it wasn't fun though, which I probably would agree with.
Just waiting who we can get in here for the interviews in the end, but the results are as follows, with Electric Blade taking the win, making it 3 in a row, pulling off the turkey, going first to first, but it was not that exact story in the race, as I believe at one point he was down to like second last of drivers in the lobby, or drivers on track, that is. Noganator taking a second to second as well, and completely opposite story of Jose Miguel, starting dead last, finishing third with a very hard-fought race there. Slayerized comes over fourth with Ray Ray fifth, Soy Loco sixth, Baba Yaga, Grumpy Old Catman, Gabba Guy, and Frenchie are the back of that top 10. Pork Chops will come over with an 11th place. Travis Scott, finding a little bit of difficulties, will finish in 12th, and DJ Knickknack will round out those finishers in 13th. And the DNFs are as follows, which all took place in the first 4 laps, which the screen is gone, but yeah, it was quite a few guys, and it was just some unlucky stuff there. See who we can get in for the interview there. I'm hoping Noganator has already said he cannot make it. And Baba Yaga. We'll see if these guys can come in. Okay, so Baba Yaga is in. All right. Entertain the folks. I need to go to the washroom, Jacko.
All right, man. I'm looking at the Division 1 chat now, and I really want to know who won that race, because there seems to be a lot of unhappy folks. Lanzi seems happy that he survived, but there must have been some serious issues going on there. I would love to shout out whoever won that race, if someone could let me know in the D1 chat. As there's crashing sounds for some reason. Are you going to crash? Is it Edwin that won? Merc. Okay, yeah, it looks like Edwin won the race, so congratulations massively to that man. Of course, last week we were impressed with his P2, and surpasses that this week with a win. Brilliant job from him. Seems like Scornsy had a poor race. I see mention of damage here to the rear and wanting to retire, so it seems like he finished the race and scored some points at least, but the championship leader doesn't look too impressed with whatever happened there. Looks like there'll be some stewards' inquiries for sure. Quick look in that. No surprises that Will has reported the shenanigans that occurred in the first sector of the race. The other reports in there as well. Some of these thumbnails just depict massive pile-ups, which is basically what I saw. I hope it was caught on stream's perspective as well.
Okay, so
Right.
we got
Sounds
Baba
like Crash is
Yaga.
back.
Yeah. He's just needs to get in Electric Blade. No answer from ex-Jose Miguel. So we'll see. We shall see.
Right, I've discovered that Edwin was the winner of Division 1 Crash. It seems like there was quite a few people that weren't too pleased how that race went.
Well,
what's knowing what happened there?
If people are interested in catching those results or the video footage of that, how do they go see it there, Jacko?
Well, Hotspot was the commentator for that, so that will be uploaded in post soon, I imagine. I'm not sure exactly when his schedule dictates, but soon.
Typically sometime around the weekend, but yes, you need to get good at plugging.
Look, man, I don't know the exact details. He uploaded the F2 very fast, but I can't promise that for every time.
Whatever date you say after that, it's off your shoulders. It's not your fault.
Oh, yesterday then.
Yeah.
He did it live.
He should have done it yesterday. I don't know how he didn't.
Very impressive.
Okay, we'll bring in Electric Blade and Baba Yaga right now, and if Jose joins, he shall be brought in as well. But okay, here we go. Okay. We'll start with quick mic checks here, Electric. Can you just give a check or something? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you're good. Baba Yaga, a.k.a. Joji Fishing.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you're good. Beautiful stuff. Jacko, what does the WS stand for before the Elma Jacko?
That's a secret. I'm not at liberty to say.
Why not?
Not mine to tell.
Is this some sus stuff that's happening?
No.
Does this stand for World of Sus Racing? Because that's what it sounds like.
I can neither confirm or deny.
Very sus. Blade, Baba Yaga, do either of you guys know what the WS stands for?
Not a clue. Nope.
No? Okay. Well, we'll see. Maybe if anyone has an answer in the chat, that'd be great, because I'm confused right now. But anywho, on to the interviews here. So, we'll start with Electric Blade, the winner, the man with 3 races in a row. It was far from easy. I mean, kind of going back from a couple of races ago, we had a driver start first and finish first, but it was far from what is anticipated or expected on the way that result took us there. Why don't you start with a little bit on your qualifying there? You were I think you were a full half a second up on Noganator. I mean, you must have been very comfortable in that qualifying session.
Apparently so. I wasn't expecting to be that much faster than second place, but it was a welcome surprise for sure.
Yeah, I mean, do you have just so when you're saying that you weren't expecting that, do you just not have the confidence in Saudi, or were you just anticipating there to be a tighter gap?
I have confidence around the track. I was just expecting it to be tighter than it was.
And then off of the initial start there, you got off really well, and I think you were over a second, I believe, even before the safety car came out, which was not even halfway through the lap. I mean, was that deflating at all for you when you saw that safety car?
A little, yeah, because I was hoping to get at least a few laps before we had the first one, but came out in the first lap, so that was a little bit deflating, yeah.
Okay, so now with having such early safety cars happen, and then it just takes a little. Does it take a little bit more time for you to kind of settle back into the race? Does it kind of screw with it a little bit for you?
I think a little bit, yeah. You kind of just want to get in a groove early, and I wasn't really doing that great off both starts, so the second start anyway.
Okay, well, I'll send it over to WS, whatever his name is.
All right, congratulations once again there, Electric Blade. 3 in a row, very impressive, and at very different tracks as well. So I was wondering, with your strategy, you came in at the second safety car there, and I'm not even sure it was on the first lap of the safety car. Were you worried that, when you came out in, I think it was about 10th, that you maybe made the wrong decision?
Yeah, I've seen as how I had to dodge like 3 or 4 wrecks in front of me after that. That was a little worrying being back there, but yeah, that, I don't know. That was just hoping not to get involved in anything, and luckily I was able to keep it clean.
Not only keep it clean, but extend the gap to more than the 5 seconds you needed with that penalty. So the pace was there for you, man, and congratulations once again. See you hopefully next week you can go for the 4th in a row.
Thank you.
Now, a quick question before we let you go here. How much tires did you have left on those hards?
I think with the couple laps, I saw like I was getting to 60%. That was about it. So.
And then with the way that Noganator was closing on you, did you kind of feel any sort of pressure, or were you fairly in control there, even with your 5-second penalty?
I was just taking it easy, making sure I didn't spin on any curves or anything. I wasn't pushing all that hard, so just trying to not spin out and keep the 5 seconds. So yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Well, yeah, very well done. Congratulations on your impressive 3 races in a row there. Well, actually, quickly, next week we're going into Spa. Do you think you can continue that form there?
We'll see. I feel pretty confident about it. So hopefully it goes well. So
nice. Actually, I think, is this the first time I've talked to you? It may have been.
You talked to me a couple times last season, I think.
Oh, did I? I thought I did. Okay. So, what division did you start in then?
This season or last season?
Well, from your first time in Midwest, where did you initially land?
In Division 6 and just like worked up a tier every week it seemed. So I got to Division 4 and kind of settled out there for the rest of the season.
And then obviously the end goal is Division 1. Do you feel like you have the pace for that?
It being no assists, probably not. So.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. All right. Well, thank you very much for coming in. I appreciate your time, and best of luck the rest of the season. Congratulations again.
Yep. Thank you.
No worries. All right. So Baba Yaga, formerly known as Joji Fishing. Where did the name change come from? All right. Say that again. Baba, can you say that again? Sorry, we didn't catch that.
I said it's just time for something different.
Okay, fair enough. So how long were you rocking the Joji Fishing tag for?
A couple of years.
And where did the Baba Yaga interest you, and where did that come from?
I wanted to change and couldn't think of nothing, and was watching the movie John Wick, and that's where it come from.
Oh, okay, fair enough. I was just curious. You've been around for a while, so I didn't even know that it was you until you messaged me on Discord, and I put 2 and 2 together there. Yeah, but anyhow, okay. So picking up hardest charger here. You've been around for quite some time. You've been in and out. Are you looking to kind of like hold down this for a while, or like hold down at least Division 3 for a while here?
Lord, no, I don't want Division 3.
Sorry?
No, I'm not supposed to be in Division 3. I'm supposed to be in Division 5.
Oh, what that? Wait,
you're
Division 5 driver?
And something happened. They put me in Division 4, and this was supposed to be my first week in Division 4, and I had to sub up to Division 3.
Oh, you're not even... Oh, are you just a reserve? Are you reserve duty? Oh.
No, I'm full-time. I just switched. I had to sub up for Division 3 tonight.
So what team are you associated with then, and what division?
Red Bull, Division 4.
Oh, okay, there you go. I see you now. Okay, so I mean, coming up into Division 3, like, how much of a jump would you say it was, or it is, from Division 4 to 3?
It's quite a bit. thankful and slow enough that I missed the crashes and kept clean and was able to finish.
Fair enough. Now, I mean, jumping up here, you got to be happy with your results here then.
Yeah, I figured to finish somewhere in the high teens.
Because I think you got 7th in the end, was it? Or 6th?
7th, I think.
Yeah, so 7th in Division 3 is good for 54 points. And in comparison to that for Division 4 is 2 points under a first place finish. So proper results for you there.
I'm not complaining.
That's good. That's good. So now, I mean, what division do you think that you can wind up in when you kind of hit your peak here?
Right now, I've turned off ABS and playing, I think, could be mid-pack Division 4, and on a good run, I could finish higher. I don't have pace to run with leaders, but I think on the right race, I think I could get a 3rd place.
Okay, fair enough. How many have you gotten podiums in the past?
Last season, Division 5.
Okay. So, I remember you all the way back in, was it season 2 for the Friday Night Madness? Didn't you compete in that for a bit?
Yes.
Yeah. What says you about that that structure there? Was that a goated structure, or was that just absolutely faded?
I was just learning, and that was where it random. The grid was random, and it seemed like I always ended up like 1st or 3rd, like front row, 2nd row, somewhere, and was always in the way and trying to get out of the way, and it just.
Oh, that's funny. That's where it comes from. But okay, I'll let you go there, Jacko.
I lost track of what we were even talking about.
Yeah.
Oh my god. All right, Babiaka.
Yes, sir.
I don't know exactly where you were at the time of the big crashes, but did you see any of that? Avoid it? Sort of sneak between the roadblocks, as it were.
The very first one, I don't know if I got hit from behind. I come around and seen a car sideways and tried to stop, but I ended up clipping and taking half the front wing. So I had to pit at the end of lap 1, but I was able to avoid all the rest.
Well, you've done a fantastic job there, and congratulations on picking up that extra bonus point.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks very much for stepping in here, man. Best of luck the rest of your season there.
No problem. Thanks, guys, for doing the commentating.
Not a problem. Anytime. Okay, I'm going to put you back in the waiting room there. So, thanks. Thanks again. Okay, so that brings a nice proper end to this this Thursday evening here, Jacko. I mean, once it settled down, it was a fun. It was fun all the way around. Not well for the commentator side, maybe not for quite a few drivers there, but once it settled down, it was a proper race though, which was good to see.
Yeah, for sure. It was a spectator race in that first half for sure.
Yeah.
Not sure how many drivers will have enjoyed their experiences, but at least some of them did. So that's a positive, and hopefully next week more drivers have a bit of a positive race.
Yeah, I mean, Spa can bite, especially if the rain comes out, so we'll see how that one goes. We'll probably be back up in Division 1 next week to witness that, so we'll see how those guys can take on the ups and downs of that racetrack, as there's quite a few of them, so very excited for that. I always like Spa. I mean, I think Spa's a fun track. I mean, what says you about Spa, Jacko?
Well, it's a reasonable track. It's got such history that it can't really be removed from the calendar, no matter what one thinks of it, even if you're pork chops. So, yeah. I mean, for me, it's just a track that's a traditional track that's in the middle of good and bad. Good track.
Yeah, no, for sure. it's I'm looking forward to it. I'm thoroughly. I like Spa. I think it's a fun track. It's a long track, but it's a fun track. So we'll see how things go. But yeah. Okay, where's this WS thing, Jacko? Like, what the hell? Like, why don't you tell me?
It's not for me to say.
Why isn't it for who's it for who to say then?
It'll come out publicly, or it won't. I'm not going to be the one that outs it.
Then why haven't I been brought on then? What do I do? Why am I on the outside looking in on this then?
Well, that's for me to know and you to find out.
Oh God. Okay. All right, tough guy. Sounds good. All right. Well, I guess with that being said, we'll bring in a close to this stream here. Don't forget to check out all of our outlets there, that being Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter for all of your updates and tweets and posts through all that stuff. If you're watching on YouTube, go fuck yourself. Hopefully everyone had a good evening this evening, and or whatever time you're watching it on YouTube, you're having a good day or a weekend or whatever you're doing at that moment. Raise Energy, Epos Gaming, and Sim Racer Coin, all thank you very much for your sponsorships towards the league, and we try to do you proud week in and week out. But as per usual, nothing left to be said other than have a good weekend, be safe, and Jacko, say something.
We'll see you next time.
Okay, good night, everyone.
See ya.